Praise God, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to today's reflection. We are on the second Sunday of Lent, and today we are reading from the Gospel of St. Matthew 17, verses 1 to 9. It says in verse 1, After 6 days, Jesus took Peter, James, and John his brother, and led them up a high mountain by themselves. Notice the action of Jesus. He took. They didn't go by themselves. Jesus took them. He took Peter, James, and John his brother, and he led them to a high mountain. So what followed after is that Jesus was transfigured before them. His face shone like the sun. His clothes became as white as snow. Moses and Elijah appeared, and he was conversing with them. But I want us to focus on verse 4. This is the response of Peter to whatever he experienced. And Peter says to Jesus, Lord, it is good that we are here. If you wish, I will make 3 tents here, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah. Now this is the plan of Peter. Remember, the gospel starts by saying Jesus took. So it means that Jesus had a purpose and a mission when he was taking them to this high mountain. But then here enters St. Peter with his own plans. Let us make 3 tents. Peter wants to stay here. The experience is too good for him to want to go back. But if we can't think about it, maybe he was being even a bit selfish, because what was going to happen to the other apostles, what was going to happen to the other disciples, to the other people who were following Christ? At this moment, Peter was thinking only about himself and the experience he was having. Let's go back a bit to chapter 16 from verses 13. It talks about Jesus asking the disciples, Who do people say that I am? And then he asked them, And you, who do you say that I am? And here, Peter replies and says, You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God. I think if there's one disciple who had a holistic experience with Jesus, was Peter. He had great moments and he had so many bad days. Because Peter is the same one, if we go down to verse 22, in the same gospel, 16 verse 22, when Jesus talks about what was going to happen to him, his suffering and death, Peter was forbidding it. And Jesus tells him, Get behind me, Satan. You are thinking not as God, but as human beings do. So let us put ourselves in St. Peter's shoe. Peter had an experience with Jesus. He had experienced him. He had learned to love Jesus. And this moment of transfiguration was the best one of all, we can say. And that's why Peter wanted to remain here. At this moment, nothing else mattered for St. Peter. He just wanted to continue in this experience, with this experience of Jesus. He just wanted to be here. So let us look at our own lives. As Christians, we all have transfiguration moments of our life. We have moments where Jesus takes us in this high mountain. And the experience is too good that we just want to be there. We just want to behold the face of Jesus. We just want to continue with this experience. But whatever happens at the end of this passage, verse 9, it says, As they were coming down from the mountain, So Jesus did not listen to what Peter wanted. He did not follow what Peter was asking of him. They still went down the mountain because the purpose of them being up on the mountain was not that so that they can stay there. It was so that they can experience Jesus in a special way, so that they can have that experience and be able to carry that experience as they continued with what was to come after this. And I feel that it is the same with us too. Our mountain experiences with God, most of the time they are meant to prepare us for what is going to come next. Because the life we are living is full of challenges. And they started in the time of Jesus. They started with Jesus himself. So Jesus, there are moments that he will take us to the mountain. If he feels that we really need it, he will take us up there in the mountain. And it is upon us to enjoy the experience, live the experience by the glory of God, but live it with the knowledge that we are not meant to be there. We are not to stay there for long, forever. We have to come down the mountain. We have to come down and meet the people. We have to come down and be witnesses of the experiences of God in our lives. We have to come down and be imitators of Christ in our own ways. We have to come down the mountain and live our life to the best by God's grace. And there is one thing also that Jesus tells the disciples: do not tell the vision to anyone until the Son of Man has been raised from the dead. So our experiences, not all our experiences of God are meant to be discussed by everyone, at least not until the Lord has asked us to do so. So as we are in the mountain, we need also to ask. When we are in the mountain, we need also to ask for the gift of discernment so that we can know what to say and what to keep for ourselves. Because the experiences of God, most of the time we don't have to talk about them. They talk about themselves. Just like the experiences and the great things that Jesus did when he was in this world, we don't have to talk about them. They talk about themselves. So as we continue with our Lenten journey, I pray that when we have these opportunities where God leads us and takes us to the high mountain, we may be strengthened enough that when we go down, we may be able to live our Christian life according to the will of God and even become people who can strengthen others. St. Peter, after all the experiences, after all the ups and downs that he had with God, he was never the same. Jesus had also transformed his life. So let our lives be transformed by the presence and the experiences of God in our lives. So have a blessed Sunday. May God bless you.